I stood frozen behind a cold wall as my son's wife opened a metal door at 1 a.m., whispered my son's name, and stepped inside a place no wife should ever enter. My heart beat so loud I feared she would hear it. I had followed her for weeks, and now I knew my family was in danger. Should I run back home and stay silent, or step forward and face a truth that might destroy us all? Her phone slipped from her hand and hit the ground. The sound echoed. She turned fast. Her eyes met mine. Fear flashed across her face, then anger, then something darker. She reached for the door handle and pulled it shut. The lock clicked. I stood outside in the dark, shaking, knowing I had crossed a line with no return. Minutes earlier, I had followed her through empty streets. The night felt heavy. Streetlights flickered. Dogs barked in the distance. She walked with purpose, never once looking back. She wore a long coat and covered her hair. She did not look like a woman sneaking out for fun. She looked like someone running from a secret. I pressed my back against the wall and tried to breathe. Inside the building, voices rose. A man laughed. Another voice answered, low and sharp. I recognized one of them. It belonged to my son. My knees nearly gave way. I had raised my son alone after his mother died. I worked long hours and came home tired, but I never missed a meal with him. I taught him right from wrong. I taught him honesty. I believed those lessons stayed with him. Hearing his voice inside that place shattered me. A door opened again. Light spilled out. I stepped deeper into the shadows. My son's wife walked out with a man I had never seen before. He wore a dark jacket and smiled like someone who enjoyed pain. She avoided my eyes, then walked past me without a word. The man stopped and looked straight at me. You should not be here, he said. His voice felt like ice. I said nothing. My mouth felt dry. He stepped closer. You followed her, he said. Old men who follow people get hurt. He walked away, laughing softly. I stood there long after they left. My hands shook. My thoughts raced. My son was inside a locked building at 1 a.m. with people I did not know. His wife had led me here, whether she knew or not. I turned and ran. As I ran home, memories flooded my mind. For months, something had felt wrong. My son grew quiet. He stopped meeting my eyes. His wife left every night at the same time. Always 1 a.m. She gave weak excuses. Walks, fresh air, trouble sleeping. I believed her at first. I wanted peace in my home. That night, I knew peace had already died. When I reached home, I sat in the dark living room until sunrise. I did not sleep. I did not eat. I listened for footsteps, for voices, for lies. At 6 a.m., my son walked in. His face looked pale. His hands shook as he poured water. He did not greet me. Where were you? I asked. He froze. The glass slipped from his hand and broke. At work, he said. I watched his eyes. He did not look at me. His wife entered the room. Her hair was wet. Her coat was gone. She smiled like nothing had happened. You look tired, she said to me. I nodded. My son cleaned the broken glass without a word. Blood dripped from his finger. He did not notice. Something dark had wrapped itself around my family. I felt it tighten. Later that day, I followed my son. He left early and did not go to work. He walked the same path his wife walked at night. He entered the same building. I waited outside, my heart heavy. A black car arrived. 2 men stepped out. One carried a bag. The other scanned the street. My stomach turned. I knew danger when I saw it. Years ago, I had seen men like them near factories and ports. They dealt in things people should never touch. I crept closer. Inside, shouting erupted. A crash. A scream. I pushed the door open. My son stood in the middle of the room. Boxes lined the walls. Strange symbols covered them. The men stood near him. One held a knife. Father, my son said. His voice broke. You should not see this. I looked at the boxes. I understood too much. What have you done? I asked. Before he could answer, someone grabbed me from behind. A cloth covered my mouth. The room spun. As darkness swallowed me, one thought burned through my fear. If I stayed silent now, my son would be lost forever. When I woke, I was tied to a chair in a small room. A single bulb hung above me. My son sat across from me, his face wet with tears. They forced me, he said. I had no choice. The door opened. The man from the night before stepped in. You followed the trail well, he said. Now you know too much. He smiled. I pulled at the ropes, pain shooting through my arms. My son looked away. The man leaned close. "You will help us," he said. "Or your family will pay." The bulb flickered. Footsteps echoed outside. I realized the truth in full for the first time. My son's wife did not leave the house every night to betray him. She left to protect him. And now, my silence or my actions would decide who survived. Pain pulled me back into my body before fear did. My wrists burned where rope cut into skin. My back ached from the hard chair. The small room smelled of dust and old sweat. The single light above me swung slowly, making shadows crawl across the walls. My son sat across from me, his head low. His shoulders shook. He cried like he did when he was a small boy and scraped his knee. Seeing him like that hurt more than the ropes. "I never wanted this," he said again. His voice cracked. "I swear to you." I forced myself to stay calm. Fear would not help him. Anger would not save him. I spoke slow so my voice stayed steady. "Start from the beginning," I said. "Tell me everything." He wiped his face with his sleeve. He looked older than his years. His eyes carried weight no son should carry. 6 months ago," he said, "I lost money at work. I made a mistake. I tried to fix it. I made it worse. I listened. I nodded. I did not interrupt. I borrowed money from a man who said he helped people in trouble," my son said. He smiled. He spoke soft. I believed him. I remembered the man who smiled in the dark. My stomach tightened. "He charged high interest," my son continued. "When I could not pay, he said I would work for him instead." "What kind of work?" I asked, though I already knew. My son looked at the floor. Moving boxes. Guarding places. Staying quiet. My chest felt tight. "Illegal work." "Yes," he said. I told myself it was only temporary. The door behind me creaked. Footsteps passed. Voices murmured. I stayed focused on my son. "Where does your wife fit in?" I asked. He hesitated. His hands twisted together. "She found out," he said. "She followed me one night. She saw everything." I closed my eyes for a second. My heart hurt for her. "She begged me to stop," he said. I tried. The man laughed. He said if I left, you and she would suffer. My blood ran cold. "So she started leaving at night," my son said. "She went to them. She pleaded. She offered herself as a worker too. She thought if she helped, they would leave us alone." Tears streamed down his face. I told her not to. I failed her. I breathed deep. Anger rose but I held it down. "You should have told me," I said. "I was ashamed," he whispered. The door opened. The smiling man walked in again. He clapped once, slow. "Family stories warm my heart," he said. He pulled a chair and sat close to me. "You understand now," he said. "Your son works for us. His wife helps keep him safe. You will help too." "I will not," I said. He smiled wider. "You already are," he said. By breathing, he stood and walked behind me. His hand rested on my shoulder. "You raised a good son," he said. "That makes you useful." He leaned down near my ear. "You will deliver a message for us," he said. "You will speak to someone you know." I stayed silent. "A police officer," he said. "An honest one." My heart pounded. "You will give false information," he said. "You will send them away from us." "No," I said. His hand tightened. Pain shot through my shoulder. "If you refuse," he said, "your son disappears." My son looked up. "Please," he said to me. "Father." I met his eyes. I saw fear. I saw guilt. I saw love. "I need time," I said. The man laughed. "Time ends tonight." He snapped his fingers. 2 men entered. They untied one hand and dragged me up. They shoved me into a hallway. Doors lined both sides. I heard crying behind one door. I heard shouting behind another. They pushed me into a small office. A phone sat on a table. "Call him," the man said. "Say the words we gave you." I stared at the phone. My mind raced. If I obeyed, I helped criminals. If I refused, my son paid the price. Then I remembered something. Years ago, I taught my son a lesson. When danger traps you, speak truth in a way only allies understand. I picked up the phone. I dialed the number. When the officer answered, I spoke calm. "I saw strange trucks near the old river road," I said. "Boxes moving at night." The man nodded, pleased. "But," I continued, "the road floods this week. Bad place to watch." The officer paused. I knew he heard the signal. River road floods was our code from long ago, meaning danger and lies. The man frowned. "Finish," he said. I worry someone could get hurt, I added. I hung up. The man stared at me. His smile faded. What did you say? He asked. Exactly what you told me, I said. He stepped close. His eyes burned. You think you are clever, he said. A loud bang echoed from outside. Shouting followed. Running feet. The lights flickered. The man cursed. He grabbed my arm and pulled me toward the back door. Plans change, he said. We move now. As we ran, I caught a glimpse through a window. Red and blue lights flashed at the end of the street. My heart leapt. Then a gunshot rang out. My son screamed my name. And I realized rescue might come too late. The gunshot ripped through the building and froze everyone in place. My son's scream echoed behind me. My body moved before my mind caught up. I twisted free and ran back toward his voice. Smoke filled the hallway. Men shouted. Feet pounded the floor. Somewhere, glass shattered. Red light flashed through broken windows, painting the walls like fire. I found my son near the room where I woke up. He stood shaking, his hands raised. One man pressed a gun to his chest. Stop, I shouted. The man turned. His eyes were wild. His finger tightened. Without thinking, I stepped between them. Take me, I said. Leave him. The man laughed once, sharp and loud. You already belong to us, he said. Another gunshot rang out, closer this time. Someone yelled for backup. Panic spread. Orders flew fast and angry. The smiling man appeared from the smoke. His smile was gone. Sweat streaked his face. Enough, he said. We split. He grabbed my son by the arm. No, I shouted. I lunged forward. My shoulder slammed into him. The gun fell and slid across the floor. My son broke free. For a second, time slowed. I saw fear in my son's eyes. I saw a door behind him. I saw a chance. Run, I yelled. He ran. A blow struck my back. I fell hard. Pain exploded through my side. Hands grabbed me. Someone kicked my ribs. I curled tight, tasting blood. The smiling man crouched beside me. You chose poorly, he said. Sirens wailed closer now. Voices shouted commands from outside. Doors slammed. The man stood and backed away. Burn it, he said. Fire roared to life somewhere behind us. Heat rushed down the hallway. Smoke thickened. They dragged me toward a back exit. My vision blurred. My lungs burned. Outside, cold air hit my face. They shoved me into the trunk of a car. Darkness swallowed me again. The car sped off. Every turn slammed my body into metal. My thoughts clung to one thing only. My son escaped. The car stopped. The trunk opened. Rough hands pulled me out and dropped me onto dirt. We were far from the city. Trees surrounded us. Night insects buzzed. The smiling man knelt again. You live because chaos favors us tonight, he said. Next time, you will not. He slammed the trunk shut and the car vanished into the dark. I lay still for a long time. Pain throbbed through every bone. Smoke hung in the air from far away. Slowly, I pushed myself up. I had no phone, no strength, no clear path home, but I had a purpose. At sunrise, I reached a road. A farmer stopped and helped me. By noon, police found me. I told them everything. They listened. They asked names, places, faces. I answered all. By evening, I returned home. My house stood silent. The door hung open. Inside, furniture lay broken. Drawers stood empty. I called my son's name. No answer. Then I saw a note on the table. One line, written slow and clear. You spoke. Now choose who pays. My hands shook as I read the names written below. My son, his wife, and mine was marked with a red circle. The note burned in my hands as if fire lived inside the paper. My name circled in red meant one thing. They blamed me. They planned punishment. I did not sit. I did not cry. Fear pressed on my chest, yet my mind felt sharp. When people threaten family, silence turns into danger. I went straight to the police station. The officer who took my statement earlier listened again. This time, I spoke slower and repeated every detail. I described the building, the symbols on the boxes, the men, the smiling leader. I explained how my son borrowed money, how the debt trapped him, how his wife tried to shield him by facing danger herself. I said all of it out loud. You are doing the right thing, the officer said. I should have done it sooner, I replied. The police moved fast. They placed guards near my house. They traced calls. They searched the burned building. They found proof inside the ashes. Boxes with marks. Records hidden under floorboards. Names. Routes. Times. Still, my son and his wife stayed missing. Every hour felt longer than the last. That night, I sat alone in a small room at the station. I stared at my hands. I remembered holding my son when he was born. I remembered promising his mother I would protect him. The door opened. A young officer stepped in. His face looked tense. "They contacted you," he said. My heart dropped. "How?" "A message," he said. "Left on a public phone." He handed me a piece of paper. An address. A time. Midnight. "They want you alone," he added. The officer watched me closely. "This smells like a trap." "I know," I said. "Then do not go," he said. I shook my head. "They already have my family." The police argued. I listened, then stood. "If I do nothing, they die," I said. "If I go, there is a chance." Silence filled the room. Finally, the officer nodded. "We will be close," he said. "You will not see us." "They might." Midnight came. I walked to the address with slow steps. The place stood near the river. An old warehouse, half collapsed, surrounded by weeds and rust. A single light glowed inside. I stepped through the door. My son knelt on the floor. His hands were tied. Blood marked his lip. His wife sat beside him, her face bruised but proud. She lifted her head when she saw me. "I am sorry," she said. Before I spoke, the smiling man walked out of the shadows. "You came," he said. "I am here," I replied. "Let them go." He laughed. "Revenge works best when hope stays alive," he said. "You took ours. Now we take yours." He raised his hand. Men stepped forward with guns. My son cried out. His wife squeezed his hand. The smiling man leaned close to me. "One choice," he said. "Take his place." I did not hesitate. "I will," I said. The men grabbed me. At that moment, lights exploded through the windows. Police shouted. Guns fired. Chaos returned. I was thrown to the ground. As smoke filled the room and screams echoed, I lost sight of my son and his wife. And I did not know who would walk out alive. Noise crashed through the warehouse like a storm. Police voices filled the air. Bright lights cut through smoke. Men ran in panic. Some dropped weapons and fell to the ground. Others tried to flee and failed. I lay on the floor with my hands over my head. My ears rang. My heart raced. Fear mixed with relief. An officer grabbed my arm and pulled me up. "Stay down," he said. I looked around, searching for my family. I saw my son first. An officer cut the ropes from his wrists. My son fell forward, then stood with help. Blood stained his face, yet his eyes stayed open and strong. Then I saw his wife. She stood near a wall, guarded by 2 officers. Her hands shook. Her face showed pain, yet her back stayed straight. When our eyes met, tears filled her eyes. "You came," she said. "I promised," I replied. The smiling man tried to escape through a side door. He did not reach far. Officers tackled him to the ground. Handcuffs snapped shut. His smile vanished. The danger ended within minutes. Outside, the night felt quiet again. Police cars lined the road. Officers moved fast and steady. Paramedics checked wounds. Questions followed. Answers flowed. I told the truth again. This time, no fear held my voice. My son spoke too. He admitted every mistake. He explained the debt. He named places and people. He explained how fear guided each bad choice. His wife spoke next. She explained every night walk. She explained every secret meeting. She spoke about love mixed with terror. She spoke about sacrifice. Police listened. Notes filled pages. By morning, arrests spread across the city. Warehouses closed. Routes collapsed. Accounts froze. The network broke apart piece by piece. My son faced court weeks later. The judge heard everything. The judge saw truth and regret. My son received punishment for crimes committed. Prison doors closed behind him. I cried during the sentence. Pain filled my chest. Relief followed close behind. My son stayed alive. My son faced consequences. Justice stood firm. His wife stood beside me. "I never meant to hurt anyone," she said. "I know," I replied. She visited my son every week. She worked long hours. She rebuilt life with patience. Strength grew inside her day by day. Months passed. One afternoon, my son returned home. He looked thinner. His eyes looked clearer. He hugged me and held on longer than ever before. "I learned," he said. "Silence almost destroyed everything." I nodded. Truth saved lives. Life moved forward, slower than before, yet stronger. The lesson stayed clear in my heart. When fear demands silence, speak louder. When family hides pain, listen closer. When instincts warn danger, act without delay. Love protects best when truth leads the way.